to Passivhaus, California's May 2025 community meeting. Today we've got Adam White from Intelligent Membranes.
Welcome, everyone. Today is the session is about high-performing buildings and the use of intelligent membranes, liquid applied from the intelligent membranes. We'll go on to 1 o'clock today, and thank you, Intelligent Membranes, for being sponsors as well as for being here today and to share that information. Passivhaus, California is a part of the Passivhaus network out of New York. We are also part of International Passivhaus and the Passivhaus Institute we are connected with. And our gold sponsor is Southern California Edison. We really appreciate them and the webinars that they provide us. Small Planet Supply and Earthbound Homes are silver sponsors. And among the supporting sponsors, Intelligent Membranes is one as well. As of 475, Rockwool, Fergus Garber Architecture, Ream, Hayward Lumber, CVHBA, Persoco, Icon Windows, Good Space Builders is another Passivhaus builder. Pete Moffat Construction is yet another Passivhaus builder. Stiebel Eltron, and then I mentioned Intelligent Membranes and Todd Jersey Architecture. So those are, we really appreciate it. There are people here very often from those, and they are involved in community meetings and things like that, as Intelligent Membranes is today. So I will now turn it back over. I will now turn it back over to Intelligent Membranes. I will unshare the screen so that we can get started. So welcome, everybody.
Well, hi everyone. Well, thank you for having me on today. Before I dive into Intelligent Membranes, a little bit about myself. My name's Adam White. I'm from the UK, well, based in the UK. I've been in the industry now, the construction industry, for 27 years, coming up to 28 soon, so I've been in it a long time. I have multiple different companies, from construction companies to a Passivhaus or Passivhaus standard timber frame manufacturing company based in the UK. Where we build any of the weird and the wonderful buildings. So if you want to go to a safari park in the UK and stay with the giraffes and rhinos and things, they are my buildings that you will stay in. So I'm the main contractor for them sorts of buildings. So just a little bit of a background about myself. Now moving on to Intelligent Membranes. So Intelligent Membranes is a liquid manufacturer, supplier, and installer. And we operate not just in the UK, we operate from the UAE all the way over to LA. So these products are VOC free. We go for non-toxic products. We also try and make all of our products fire rated, fire resistant, or fireproof as well. So that's a big thing we've been concentrating on over the last 10 years. Not a lot of people have been focusing on that right now, but now we're coming into our own, where fire is becoming a big issue for a lot of people. Some of the membranes that we do are airtight membranes, waterproof membranes for facades. We have roofing membranes. So in Dubai, we sell a lot of waterproof membranes now, because we have white solar reflective roofing membranes that we sell over there. Each country, we have something slightly different that we dominate in that market for. If you want to go to the next slide, please. So I will apologise, everyone, that I don't have the button for the slide. So our main product, our most famous product, is a Passive Purple. Now, Passive Purple, we brought this out around about 12 years ago. Originally, it was black. Not a lot of people wanted to see a lot of black coloured buildings. So Passive Purple was born, and this is an airtight liquid vapor control. And this replaces your paper membranes. So if you think of your traditional Tyvek or any other brand, we are the liquid form of that, just better. So we're like the Lamborghini version of that. We can be spray applied, we can be roll applied, we can go on any form of construction. If you want to go on to the next screen, please. As you can see, any form of construction, from timber frame to masonry to retrofit builds, we can go on anything. We do come in two forms. We have a spray roll applied version of Passive Purple, and then we have a brush applied version. So when we're looking at the brush applied version, that version would replace your traditional tapes normally. So it has fibers in it, so you can go around and paint all them tricky joints, any large gaps going from 5 to 20 mil in size. You can paint all them up first before you have to go and apply Passive Purple spray or roll. A scenario would be if you've got OSB sheeting, you'd go around and paint all the joints first, and then you'd come over and spray Passive Purple, making everything airtight. Next slide, please. Hopefully that video should play. So this is just Passive Purple going on a masonry build. Going on very slowly for me, but
I think it's working right on our side.
it's working. Okay, that's good because it was jolting on my side. That's fine. As you can see, it's spray applied. It can go on any form of construction. So this will guarantee airtightness on any build and any project that we actually do the installs on around the world. We actually guarantee the project of 0.6 or lower when we control the installs on the projects. So in LA, our installers are Passivhaus Supply, and they will guarantee the 0.6 or lower on the build that they put our product on, put our products on. We are Passivhaus certified. We are ICC certified. We are that says class C and B, but that's class A in America, certified. We are 0.03 ACH. That's why we can guarantee the 0.6 on any building that we do the supply and install on. Passive Purple is actually also a radon barrier. When used at 1.2 kg a square meter, we're classified as a radon barrier. So a lot of the retrofit projects, especially in the UK, radon being I think it's the largest cause of lung cancer now in the world, overtaken smoking. A lot of the retrofit projects, it's really hard to try and put that radon barrier back in, but you can put Passive Purple on the floor and the walls and try and reduce that risk as much as we can. Next slide, please. We are antifungal protection as well. I'll jump the gun. There is a radon barrier. Yep, so you won't get any mold growth with our product. So we resist any of that. And this is all, any testing that we've done has also been tested to European standards and ASTM standards. So we always make sure we comply in both sides of the river, the pond. So we comply with everything. So that's our Passive Purple. We also have our product called Passive Purple External. This is a facade waterproofing membrane. So this would be, Passive Purple would be your vapor closed membrane. Passive Purple External would be your vapor open membrane. So this will be like your Gore-Tex jacket. We're going to make it nice and waterproof, but we're still going to let the building breathe. So moisture management, we're not talking about breathing like we are now. We're talking about moisture management through the wall. We can make all of the external facade waterproof. And that also comes in two forms. It comes in the brush form and the roll and spray version, as you can see there. Next slide, please. This is just a video. Hopefully it's going fast on your side. Of it going on a timber frame building. As you can see, all the joints were painted first with the brush version, and then Passive Purple External has been sprayed over the whole thing, making the whole thing airtight and watertight. We always look at airtightness as really being one line in a building, but it's actually two, because to be watertight, you really need to be airtight as well. So this is why we have two different products. UV resistant, that's a really big thing. Passive Purple External, although we aim it for the passive house industry on timber frame and builds that go behind facades, you can actually leave Passive Purple exposed. You can faintly see it in the background. There's actually a bridge there. That's a big bridge in China that we done a special stone color for, because passive purple external is an anti-carbonization product as well. So it will stop the carbon getting into the steel and stopping all the rust going. So it is a bit of a more of a heavy product that we can use if needed, and we can make any color. So if you're going to leave it out on timber work and you want it black, gray, blue, we can make it any color to suit. All of our both of the products, Passive Purple and Passive Purple External, are Passivhaus certified as well. So they have been checked by them. We've quickly moved on to Fred. So Fred is a fire-resistant product. Now, we brought this product out for foam to start with. So we've got spray foam going on a lot of buildings, and there's a lot of spray foam on buildings that needs to be retrofitted. So we created a product to go on that product. I will at the end, there's some samples behind me. I will burn them at the end, but I'm going to burn it at the end because I know how flammable one of them's going to go out up. So I'll do it right at the end, so I don't get too flustered. So this product, Fred, is a coating you put over the foam. This can be spray or roll applied, and this will fireproof it, and this will make sure that when the fire gets to the foam, that one, it stops the smoke, because the smoke will always kill someone first in a fire, not the fire itself, and then it will control the fire as well and stop the fire getting through to the rest of the foam. Again, all of our stuff VOC free, water based. We do have A2 certification EN, and we have ASTM A on foam as well. So we have that tested on foam to have ASTM A tested as well. It's the only reason why it's orange is just so everyone knows. It's just a brand new thing that's the product. It's hard to try and put another product on and pretend it's that. Okay, next slide, please. Yep. I'm going to the next slide, please. Yeah. Sorry, I'm always used to be out. I can see the next slide normally, so but on this occasion I can't. Can you mix the two products, Fred and Passive Purple, together? You can. So if you ever need to have that extra fireproof, but you still need the vapor control, you can mix the two products together. That's not a problem. Combining them. Okay, we go to the next slide, please. We go to the next slide, please. Oh, she's put a lot of things in there. Can we go to the next slide?
We're on the goat now.
Yeah, that's fine. Now we're on to goat. That's great. That's great. Okay, so away from them, the goat is the greatest of all time. We just actually received an ETA, which is the European highest standard of a roofing membrane, a 25-year life roofing membrane. Predominantly, we sell it in white because we are trying to be eco-friendly, but it also comes in black, grey, blue. We actually created goat to start with for airtight grommets and to protect floors going up with builds. So if you're in a wet area and you want to protect the building as you're going up, goat is a reactive polymer. So it's waterproof within 12 seconds and it's dry within 24 hours for you to be able to walk on it. That's if you get the single tubs and you do it yourself. It comes in a spray form as well, where we supply and install it, and it'll be it'll be waterproof instantly, and you can walk on it within an hour. So that's a reactive polymer. This is just demonstrating, I think there's a video there. This is a project actually in Ghana, but we like using this video because anybody can use this product. It is UV stable. It will take the heat, and anyone can apply the product if you want to do it like this way. So When using the white version, we'll reduce the temperature of the roof by a minimum of about 20% as well. So in the hot days, the temperature of our roof will be 20% lower than any other roof that's in the area. Again, highly flexible. So one product coating system, high adhesion, seamless joints. Yep, next one, please. We've already spoken about this. It's UV resistant. Yeah, eco-friendly. Next slide, please.
We're on brick seal.
Brick seal now, running through. So in the areas around America where you are going to be wet, we have a clear sealant, which we're just going for a 35-year life. So we're pushing the extremes of what we can do with our product. This is a clear sealant that will go on. This will make the brickwork, blockwork, old buildings, it will make them watertight, but it will not restrict them from breathing. It will not change the perm rating or the SD value. It's so negligible that it will not affect it. So it still will allow the building to breathe, especially for the heavy, dense, solid wall constructions where they're holding a lot of moisture, and the moisture still needs to get away from the building. This product can go on, it'll make it waterproof. It goes on a paste, goes on, dries clear, and the only way to tell if its product's been put on is if you want to be silly and go and draw little faces around on blockwork, like we did here on these videos. You'll have to tell me if the video's finished or not, because it's quite slow my end.
On the next slide.
On the next slide, okay. Well, as you can see from that previous video, the product went on, it's completely invisible. The only thing you'd notice is it cleans the brickwork. As if you put any water on it, it would clean it a bit anyway, but completely invisible, but it makes it watertight. This can be done paintbrush, roller, or a spray machine. It's fine. So stops all the damp coming in, long lasting. Like I said, we're just going in for a 35-year lifespan on it now. Okay, next slide, please.
This one is comparing the exterior temperature and the interior temperature.
Yeah, this is just a demonstration on it will still let the building breathe with the moisture going out. So next slide, please. Okay, next product, Poseidon. You've all heard of a product called RedGuard. Our product is similar to that, just a better standard. So we are a bathroom waterproofing, Poseidon, the god of all waterproofing. This comes in this can be roll applied, spray applied as well. Zero nasty chemicals in it, VOC free. I have to stress that a lot. We are zero VOC free and we have no nasty chemicals in us. Flexible, can go behind tiles. You can tile directly to it as well. And it can go in high moisture areas as well, steam rooms, wet rooms, anywhere where you need to tile and make it watertight. As you can see there on the videos. So we just go around, we paint all the corners first, and then you can go and roll on. And then you can tile directly to the product as well. Okay. So all the testing that we've had done for Poseidon is all ASTM testing as well. So mold, mildew, all of that, it's all been tested, all passed with that. So we've gone to our competitors and made sure we're better than all of them as well. Okay. Next one there. A little bit about Poseidon. We do give some of the proceeds to the Blue Ribbon Foundation. So that's a men's mental health foundation. that I'm an ambassador for. A lot of things in the industry the guys don't like to talk about. So we talk about men's mental health, how we eat, how we exercise, and all the rest. So yeah, so 5% of all the money we make from Poseidon goes to the guys at the Blue Ribbon Foundation. My favorite product, actually, Fuck Off Cancer. So Fuck Off Cancer is a paint-on protection product. Back in the day, it used to be orange and yellow. We called it Fuck Off because we wanted the product to be painted on expensive items in these new builds. So worktops, electric hobs, bathtubs, and the like. And we wanted the contractors to fuck off and leave them alone. This went well with a lot of the sites. And as it was a rude name, we decided to give 100% of all the money we make from this to charity. So after I manufacture it, every single penny goes to the girls down at the Pink Ribbon Foundation. So this is 100% a charity product that we do from them. We turned it pink, and that means everyone can have a bit of fun with it. We've got the PH for the Fuck Off Cancer. But yeah, they get a load of money from it, and we have a lot of fun with it, especially when someone rings up and asks for some fuck off on the phone, which is always amusing. So as you can see on the pictures, electric hobs, window sills, just all the areas where you don't want a contractor to go and stand on it. It is made from 90% recycled material, and it can be recycled afterwards as well. So we're trying to be as eco as we can. Yes, it is a plastic at the end of the day, but the damage and the replacement of the goods and the time on site, we feel that our impact is less than what it would be with damaged goods. We can go to the next slide, please. Which leads us into the next product, which is Intelligent Protect. This is quite strong in LA at the minute as well. So this is a spray-on protection product. This is made of 70% recycled material as well, and it can be recycled afterwards. This is sprayed on windows and doors, aluminium doors, not for wood. And this will protect the windows and doors for up to 2 years, and then you can peel the product off and it will reveal a brand new door. That means we can reduce site time, damage, people coming in, replacing glass, and our big carbon footprint for having a site going on for a couple of months on end just to replace all these glass elements and frames. If we can go to the next slide, there might be a video. Up to 24 months protection, as I said before. Spray on, let it dry, leave it. It will let the lights come through still. You won't be able to see through it, but it will still let the light come through, so you can still operate in the building. But then at the end of the project, you can just peel away. It is a weatherproof. Oh, we've got the video there. Okay, so you can see easy to put on, easy to peel away. We are anti-propagation as well, so we will not add to the fire as well. Another thing that we like to do. We do have EPDs for all of our products as well, so we can always see the life span of our products. Again, made from 70% raw recycled materials. Next slide, please. God, I feel like I'm going through this quite quick now. Airtight fleece tape. We have a fleece airtight membrane. This is our window membrane. So when you install your windows, we have a fleece material that we can put on. This is compatible with any intelligent membranes products, as you can see from the picture behind us there. That's actually on an external use because it is a variable product as well, so it can go internal or external if needed. And this will just make everything airtight, but nice and easy to handle. So some airtight membranes are quite thick and stodgy to put on, but our airtight fleece membrane is quite pliable. Okay, next slide, please. In here, we're just showing some different operations for this. Just gone around windows. You can see it's covered up all the straps there, and the other one's a loft hatch coming in, an airtight loft hatch. Next slide, please. Okay, so this, we're coming into the pictures now. So just showing a few projects. This is a retrofit project where we probably had about 200 complaints from neighbours because they all thought we were turning the college bright purple. So we come in, they took the windows out, and we sprayed the whole thing purple before they put the insulation on and the new cladding. But this is a retrofit project which we made airtight. I think they got 0 point something on there, 7.6 or lower. We do have another product because I'm quite vain. I bought one called Airtight White to name it after me. And this actually is my favorite project that we've ever actually done, because what you can't see here is actually there's a 10,000 square meter, which is 100,000 square foot hidden basement underneath that building that we went down and made it all airtight. It's where they keep the Magna Carta in there to make the whole building airtight. But the picture that you can see there is we left Airtight White on show, because how do you retrofit a vapor control in a building that's that old? You're not going to start ripping all them timbers out and all the plasterboard out. So what we done there, we just painted the top in between the rafters there, and we added that vapor control in, and Airtight White was good enough to be left on show for that project. And then it looks quite striking. Next slide, please. Just demonstrating here on a masonry building. Nothing too much to that picture. Next slide, please. Timber frame construction, quite popular around America, quite popular around the UK as well. We do a lot of our installs on that. Masonry, again, that's just appeared there. As you can see, when the product's installed, it's a kind of a light pink, but when it dries, it goes to a dark pink. On the right, on the picture on the right that you can see, a lot of hospitals now are having passive purple. Again, for the radon purpose of it, one, they need to be airtight, and they need to be the most airtight buildings they can be. But then you've got the radon protection. They know that it's going to be the best air quality within inside the hospital that it can be. So a lot of the hospitals that are specified throughout all the UK now have passive purple on them. Next slide, please. And that was a very quick whistle-stop tour. I think I got it within 20 minutes of the products, but obviously you're going to have to hit me with a load of questions and I can answer them. Try not to skim past anything. And if we do get time, I'll set fire to some foam behind me, and I'll set fire to some thread and see the difference between the two products. So thank you for letting me quickly run through that. And thank you, Jay, I think it was, for doing the slides for me.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We have a few questions in the chat, and I don't know, Steve, are you available to ask your questions? You're in there messaging.
Sure.
Awesome.
Can I ask all of them, or should I just?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I actually
Go on,
had three
Steve, hit me.
questions on them. Yeah, hi. And you kind of touched on this as you went on. I wondered about longevity testing. Have you done any certified testing to determine lifetime of the membrane?
Yeah, so accelerated aging testing. Yeah, we have done, and We will be, so with Passive Purple and Passive Purple External, we will last for as long as a product that we're adhered to. Okay, so that's in all our reports and from UK and the ICC. So if we go on OSB and that OSB will last for 100 years, we will last for 100 years. At the base of what we are, and it obviously covered up. If it's in the sun, it won't last for 100 years. But if it's behind the facade, we will last for as long as the product that we're applied to, and it's written exactly in them words. But we have done, obviously, we have done accelerated testing and all of that to back all that up as well. So we have got them reports as well.
Great. That could be a long time. Yeah. Okay.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Second question, you mentioned you've got, I don't know if you call them certified installers, but you have people that you have trained that we could hire somebody to come and install your products on a project. Yes.
Yeah. So if you take LA, so we have a company out there called Passivhaus Supply, and they do all of our product supply. But most importantly, they're the main installers for around the area as well. So they're trained by us. We're in constant contact with them. I was there just like last week with them, going to the job sites, checking up on how things are doing, speaking to the team. They are part of our family. Any installers are part of the Intelligent Membrane family. So
great.
You're well backed up.
On the flip side of that, we could go and buy your products from a distributor and install them ourselves. We don't have to use one of your installers.
You don't have to use one of the installers, but again, say I'll use LA because that's where you guys are from. You could get the product from them. They'd be happy to give it to you. They'd be happy to give you advice on the product. They're happy either way. Same as what we are. They're happy to do the install, give you the guaranteed airtightness testing, or they can talk to you and say, look, this is how you do it. Come to us. We'll give you some training on it. Yeah.
Great. Oh, so if they do the install, will they also do included in that airtightness testing as well, like a blower door test?
We always get an external company to do that test. We will never use that ourselves. So we do have the equipment and to do the testing, yes, and we do test it ourselves, but we always insist on a third party to come and test in front of us and the client to prove it. So there's no grey areas.
Yeah, nice.
Air testing, it can be some grey areas sometimes.
Yes, there can.
Quantify that, but we want no grey areas, so that's why we always insist third party for that.
Cool. Final question about installation. Some of other products on the market, liquid membranes, insist that a certain thickness, and you actually during installation you have to get a little gauge or something and measure thickness, and if you can't confirm those thicknesses, you don't really get the warranty that comes with the product. Do you have that kind of process, that kind of requirement?
Everyone should use a wet gauge film whilst they're doing the install, just to record everything you're doing. I would always say it doesn't matter what products you're using, the projects that we are going on Passivhaus, you have to document everything anyway. So going around wet gauge film, making sure, do I have the right microns on here? Yes. Where did I check it? Yeah, we'll keep that, put it to the side, and it's all documented. We actually have our own app coming out next week as well. So for that warranty process or backup, if someone uses our products, they take pictures of the projects that they're doing and the install. If they've got any questions, they can actually ask a question in live time as well, because it comes to us and we will answer in live time. We can send a picture back and say, look, actually, you haven't put it on thick enough. They say, what's this detail around this joist? We can answer that. We have a picture here for that. We have a drawing for that. So they've actually got help to their fingertips.
Nice. Very nice. I think those are all my questions. I just want to say it's a remarkably diverse product line. It's very impressive.
It was quite quick to try and go into 20 minutes. So I do apologize to anyone that thought that was just a big sales pitch. That pitch, and if anyone's seen me before, that's not normal my style. So hit me up with more questions. That'll be
yeah. No, nicely done. Thank you.
Okay.
Christian? You had your question.
Oh, yeah. How do you compare to other liquid membranes? We have used Cat5 in the past, rolled and sprayed. It's a more viscous product for rolling. It needs some muscle work to install, but also from the properties, how do you compare to them if you're familiar with it?
Yeah, I'm familiar with them. I don't like bashing other products really. I would just say that, I mean, first and foremost will be our fire properties that we have with our products. So we are ASTM A on both passive purple and passive purple external. Our passive purple external is fire class B in Europe. That the fire properties, that'll be much better to apply. We are way easier to apply. We have no nasties in us. All of our sheets will show that as well. But the thickness, if you've ever gone and painted your living room with a white emulsion paint, we're ever so slightly thicker than that, but that is about it.
Where's your product coming from and in terms of supply chain? Is there lead time or for availabilities?
For availability, we have stock in New York, Chicago, LA, soon to be Canada. We're just teeing that up now. And then if you want to go Italy, France, UK, we can deliver within 5 days anywhere where you are in America. So we can have a pull from somewhere in America or we can pull from the UK. Strangely, sometimes I can get products quicker from the UK to America than I can from the UK to Scotland. And it's just a short drive away. And that baffles me so much sometimes. It really, really does. Especially when sending the small parcels, the 1s and 2s and 3s, that sometimes it can be there within 2 days if we send it on an UPS delivery. It is so rapid. It's so fast. It's unbelievable. Any other questions?
I have a question. Being in LA, surrounded by fires, for those of us who are fortunate enough not to burn this time, there's still a lot of concern about what is in the air. And so I'm curious if you know if of any ways where you're able to ensure that your products are, post-mortem, they're actually healthier than other products. I'm not sure how that might be determined, but that is something to consider.
Sorry, just so I get it straight. So as in when our product is set on fire, it's healthier.
Yeah,
So,
than all of the other things that are going into our air and soil and ocean.
yeah, I mean that comes down to its fire properties. That will come down. That's how these products act under fire, and that's how they get their grading. Again, America's a bit lax on their grading. If I'm honest with you, Europe's a bit stronger with our grading, but if you're going for like a say passive purple external, which is class B, or thread that's class A, there is no off gassing as such. That's how we get our class A. It's nothing's coming out. The calorific value, there's nothing going up there to knock us down. Where you see these other products with bits going everywhere and going in the way. I don't want to be breathing that in. That shouldn't be happening. And yeah, I mean, I was there in LA last week. I did go around to see the fires. Do you know what? I didn't even think it was going to be as bad as what it was. And I know that sounds strange. What threw me the most as well was actually seeing a house and then no house and then a house. And then I spoke to some of the neighbors and they were just like, we were pooping ourselves. We were stuck, and you've got this one house completely gone, and then a house next door that they just survived. It just didn't. I couldn't get my head around it. But then looking at the product choice, and then looking at some of the rebuilds, I said before we come on this, is people are still putting flammable products back on the buildings. And it's mind blowing because if any fire or any sparks get in that cavity behind the cladding, it's just going to funnel up to the roof as quick as he can. So yeah, it's a bit of an eye opener there. Any more questions?
Yeah, I had a quick question for you.
Okay, that was.
Yeah, you started with the passive purple, your interior
Yep.
product, and you had the brush and the air roller viscosities. Do you have to use a fleece type of membrane to do crack bridging with the brush version or not? Interior.
If it's gonna go over a few mil, you have to use a brush version. That's why we've got the fibers in there, so it can knit across the gaps and go into the gap as well. And it's always better to make sure on these joints as well that we are painting into the joints as well, because anywhere where air can flow, air will want to travel around the building. So if there's any breaks or anything, we actually want to stop it having a route to market as such. Does that make sense? Yeah. If we're going to go if we're going to go over 20 mil, or we are getting to the bigger size, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love for passive pebble brush to go in all of it because I'll make more money. But sometimes for the costing, you're going to have to get the fleece membrane out to bridge that gap. You can then paint over it with passive purple. We always recommend that because the life of passive purple will outstrip the life of any other products.
Now, do you recommend then that all joints between the plywood sheets get the fleece, or just the painted?
No, just painted.
flashing?
Just painted with brush. Just painted with brush.
And like
Go
floor
around paint with brush. It
ceiling?
goes in the gap.
Mhm.
You're physically going into the gap again. You're stopping anything. So not just from the front. You're stopping the gap behind.
Thank you.
And obviously it will stretch and shrink up with it as well if it needs to compress. So I'm not going to stop that with speed compressing.
Mhm. Thanks.
Okay. Any more questions? I feel like people are taking it easy on me. There's not many questions. I'm normally getting bombarded. No?
I think that's everything. Wait, Richard?
Yeah, I did have one more question on your the goat product.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw the image. Was it Ghana? They were putting that coating on, right?
Yeah.
And is there a like a obviously prep is going to be the most important thing to any of these membranes, and how we sort of prepare that surface. What would be the prep for something like that? And is there a kind of bonding agent that would be required prior to putting that on there? I couldn't quite tell.
Yeah, so you're eagle-eyed there. That's good. We do have a primer for it. We do recommend it, especially if you're going to go on a roof like that, to clean it down, vacuum the roof, put the primer on first, make sure we've got adhesion. What you need to understand, what you probably do in the hot countries as well, especially with in the morning and the rising temperature as well, you can get a lot of air bubbles come out of all the concrete because it's starting to breathe. So making sure the primer goes on just to make sure that none of that's going to happen to the product we're going to put on top, because the last thing you want is air bubbles coming in, because concrete will take a lot of air in and then wants to release it again. So
Well, roofs are pretty tricky just in that sense, because they're going to hold a lot of latent moisture from the cool nighttime, but then it needs to be cool enough during the coating application that it doesn't dry instantaneously as it's applied. It needs to sort of actually have that time to work to
you
actually
have to
form a
get
viable.
that perfect spot. You need to get that perfect time. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
Which can make it tricky, especially in the UAE countries, in Dubai and places like that, because they're just not used to having products that work. Actually, that's a strange thing to say. Having products that work, because now they're receiving quite a bit of rainfall. It's only 3 or 4 times a year, but when they do get it, they actually get it. They get it a lot. So. Yeah, that actually was one of our working processes that we we quickly learn about times of installing there fast. I'll post out some pictures of me and what I look like after doing my first install.
Yeah.
I was dead.
Yeah, my father manufactured coatings for many, many years, 40 years down in South Florida. So I too have spent many hours on a roof
Yeah,
coating. So then I guess the next question is, is it a tachometer test or whatever that's testing the moisture prior to applying these types of coatings? Or like we would do it interior to make sure that if we're putting an adhesive or a sheet flooring, we'd want to test that so we don't get bubbles as well.
We don't particularly do any test other than making sure that it's not like a laden like damp proof or anything like that. Because obviously if there's too much moisture in there, we're just going to trap it. So at the minute, no particular thing on that. So I do have a thing to the side here. There's actually what the goat was firstly brought out for is actually, I don't think it comes out very well. So this is the goat we have it in sealant form as well. So we call it liquid grommet. So this is just to make sure everything's airtight. So all the service penetrations coming into a building, we use this liquid grommet coming in. So we have the sealant form as in the silicone foil gun, or we have these little tubs that you can crack and pour in. You've seen it before. We got 5 or 6 tubes coming in, and then someone comes in with a big spray foam gun and goes gun hole with it, and it just looks a big mess. No, let's do it nice and neat, cut it all off, goat it, and then we know is even if someone gets a bit aggressive with the wires, and they will get aggressive because no one on a building site likes to leave an airtight test intact. But it just makes sure everything's still in place.
Thanks.
Fantastic. Thank you. We're going to wrap up, but I wanted to just let the Californians on here know. You can speak with Adam White at Intelligent Membranes anytime. I don't know if you're able to put your email in the chat. And we have a bill, AB 368, that is supporting Passivhaus in California. It's not yet an alternative compliance pathway. They're actually right now considering testing it first, but that's better than nothing. And it's at appropriations. This is our last stop before the floor. If you are able to today or tomorrow, please message Buffy Wicks. There is her phone number and the appropriation email for her. So if you go through her website and you're not one of her constituents, you won't be able to send this message. But you do not need to be her constituent. So just use this email instead to reach her, or the phone number. And there's a sample letter if you'd like to use it. There's a space for you to add your feedback. But they need to know, appropriations needs to know that there's people that support this. And especially if you're in her area, which is like Oakland, Richmond, maybe parts of Berkeley, please make sure you make your voice known. But anyone in California, if you can do that, that would be wonderful. And then we will be at USGBC California's event at Fort Mason on Thursday. So come look out for Passivhaus California, Passivhaus Network. We're there. We're going to have a smoke tight presentation. Christian's going to be speaking. There's going to be a lot of fun stuff. Get tickets in advance. There's no sales at the door. The day before, tomorrow, we will be at the Tipsy Pig. So if you look at your message from us today, this morning, you can get a link to RSVP to come see Be Public, Bronwyn Berry's Passivhaus BB. There's one other, 475, and Passivhaus Network and Passivhaus California are having snacks and drinks and non-alcoholic drinks, and we really want you there. So Edie's on here, so please come out. We do have an announcement for you, and I'll be there, and we'll be at the table on Thursday, so looking forward to meeting anyone. And then, yes, you got the direct email for the appropriations. Share that information far and wide, you guys. Get on your LinkedIn, your text message, and just let everybody know Passivhaus has fans. And we want appropriations to not block this. They're saying it's going to be $300,000 to test it, 2 full-time people. We don't think that's true. But regardless, we want them to do it if they're going to have to charge that much. So please send that message. And hope to see you all. Otherwise, we'll see you next month. Thank you, Adam. Good night.
No worries. Thank you very much.
And Jay's got a call.
I love the little duck there.
Yes. Well, we're back to the closing words. I think it was great news to hear that PG&E is providing some funds to help people become Passivhaus or certified Passivhaus designer consultants. AB 368, Susie just brought up. If you look up an organization called Climate Action California, they have things that letters that you could send to your senators and assembly folks and things like that. There's another really wonderful thing happening for Passivhaus, and that is here in Monterey County, the county of Monterey and the city of Seaside, which is one of the jurisdictions in there. Instead of having a climate action plan, they now have a climate action and adaptation plan, where the CAAP, or the Community Climate Action and Adaptation Plan. And the good news there is that the climate action is driving down greenhouse gases, making energy more efficient, getting away from fossil fuels, those things to drive down the global warming that's going on, that's causing the climate action. The adaptation, however, is for people who live in buildings, homes, residences, multifamily, people who worship in buildings, go to movie, things like that. All of those, the idea, if those buildings are built to a Passivhaus or a higher performing standard, such as Passivhaus, those buildings are much more energy efficient. They have much better indoor air quality, and they are resilient to the extreme weather, wind, heat and cold, fires and smoke, and power outages. So Passivhaus is really getting some momentum, because if we're going to fight for the climate action and adaptation, that's Passivhaus is how to do that. So going on just to getting on to the final things, you've got I had the call to action there. If you wanted to be a part of Passivhaus California, you can go to passivhauscal.org, and there's a newsletter sign up which is free. There are individual, professional, organization, company memberships, also sponsorships, donor, and volunteer. So there's that is there should you be interested as you look forward. And finally, thank you for being at today's meeting, because you can now share with others that you're involved in about things you've learned. And that makes you the difference, because you're the light bulb that was here. And so if we light up, you see the light bulbs around you light up as well. So if you need to find passivhauscal.org, or talk to someone, you can call info or email info@passivhauscal.org. So thank you for your time and attention, and stay safe.